Alright, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to create a quiz inside Canvas. And as you can see on my homepage, it brings me straight to modules, so I can actually work inside the homepage for modules. If your homepage is not modules, it's very easy to fix. You can just go over to the side, select choose homepage, and then select course modules. And that'll bring up the modules as the first thing the students see when they enter your course. So let's go ahead and add to week 1, since week 1 is looking a little bare. We're going to press the plus button at the top. Then we're going to go ahead and select on the drop down menu here, quiz. And then we're going to select new quiz. We're going to say the name can be this Getting to Know You survey. I'm going to keep it in the assignments group because that's the only group I have. And I'm going to keep it as a don't indent. So let's go ahead and add that item. Now, like before with pages, I mentioned that there's 2 ways of doing this. This was the first way of adding a quiz, and that's going to be through your modules. The second way is actually going to your quiz tab inside the navigation bar, and then adding the quiz this way. Like I've said before, I like working inside modules, so I just stay inside modules and build out from there. So let's go ahead and let's edit this quiz. So if we select the title here, we'll be able to go into the settings. So let's go up to edit here. And I'm going to keep the title because that looks good. I'm going to give them instructions. So maybe I want them to get an idea about what this survey is. So I'll say something like, okay, perfect. And like with pages, I can go in here and I can change how this looks. I can make it larger font. I can add a video or something that might help explain it better. Now let's go ahead and go down to the settings of this quiz. So in the title I said that it's going to be a survey, so I'm going to go ahead and select the drop down menu for quiz type, and I'm going to say that is a graded survey. I'm going to change the grade to 10 points. And then once they submit their assignment, it'll automatically grade the quiz for 10 points if they've completed every answer. So I can have the answers shuffled. So maybe in the question, there's 4 answer options. I can have those options shuffle every time they enter this quiz. So I can check that off. Or if it's a survey, it doesn't really matter, so we'll keep that as is. I can add a time limit to it. So maybe if I wanted to say, this quiz is going to take 10 minutes. You should complete it in 10 minutes. I can put that in there. Make sure you select the box. For a survey, you can keep the submissions anonymous if you'd like. You can add multiple attempts for a quiz, for example. And then, let's keep going here. The next question is letting the students see their quiz responses. Incorrect questions will be marked in student feedback. So basically, if maybe they didn't get it correct, it would mark it incorrect, but I can decide if it'll show them the correct answer or not by selecting that button. I can also select if I want the students to see a question at a time. Personally, I like to see the whole quiz before I take it so I know how many questions are in it, but that's just up to you, whichever you would prefer. I can require an access code for this quiz, or I can do something like filtering IP addresses, and what that basically means is just making sure whoever is signed into this account will be able to access this quiz. I leave these blank because I don't need to worry about that kind of stuff, I just let it be. The other thing that's most important is setting a due date for this. So let's just say I would like the students to complete this quiz on September 2nd, that Wednesday we get back. I can also make this quiz available starting the first day of school and then have it not available that Friday. So that means the students will not be able to access this quiz anymore after this date. So even if they're late, it'll say late, but if they are past this September 4th date, they won't even be able to access this. So now the other thing I can do is I can assign this quiz to maybe a specific person. So if I say my class, since there's no people inside of this, I can't really select it right now, but I can give this to specific students if I need to, instead of saying everyone. So that's a really nice feature if you're trying to do maybe some remediation for some students. So let's go ahead and we're going to go up at the top here, and we're going to go and enter our questions. So on the tab next to details, there's the question button. Go ahead and press that. I can then press new question. And then I can change this type of question. So maybe I want the students to answer in true or false. I can do that. Maybe I'd like the students to do fill in the blanks. I can do that as well. Or if it's a survey, I want the students to type out their answer, I can do essay question. And then I'll go ahead and type in my question. All right. Then I'll say update question. And there we go, we have our first question. I can also change the points for these individual questions. So maybe I have a harder question and I want to make that question worth 5 points. I can do that. Or I can just make them all equal with 1 point. And then when I'm finished with everything, including the questions, I can go ahead and press save and publish, and it will save my changes, and it will also publish it so the students will be able to view this survey. And then if you'd like to make sure that all of your stuff is correct, you can check over these settings here and it'll say what you've selected. You're always welcome to go back and edit this project in here to make sure that it is however you'd like it to be if you realize you've made a mistake later on. But that's basically it. That's how you make a quiz inside Canvas. A little later I'll show you how you can grade these quizzes and everything about this, but for now that's how you set it up. The next video I'm going to talk about is how you're going to make a discussion inside of Canvas. So if you're interested in that, let's go ahead and move on to that video.